Welcome to another season of the Hope Athletics Orange and Blue podcast. My name is Alan Babbitt. I'm the Sports Information Director at Hope College, where we believe intercollegiate sport is a powerful vehicle for education and personal development. The mission of Hope Athletics is to promote and provide programs defined by academic success, competitive excellence, and transformational experiences. Conversations with our student athletes, coaches, and staff on the Hope Athletics Orange and Blue podcast spotlight their experiences with the Hope Athletics mission. Today's episode is also part of a special NCAA Division III Week celebration across the nation. Division III Week is a positive opportunity for all individuals associated with a Division III institution to observe and celebrate the impact athletics and student athletes have on campus and in the surrounding community. Hope College is a proud Division III member dating back to 1973 when the organization was formed. With me on the Hope Athletics Orange and Blue podcast today are junior Olivia Dieppa, a Hope College women's soccer defender, and senior Tyler King, a runner on both the cross country and track and field teams. Welcome to the Orange and Blue podcast, Olivia and Tyler.
Thank you.
We'll start with you, Olivia. Let's get to know you a little bit. Tell us about your experience. Where did you grow up, and how did you get involved in soccer?
Yeah, thanks, Alan. So I'm from Hudsonville, Michigan. And then like Alan mentioned, I'm a junior on the women's soccer team. So that was a big reason when I was coming to Hope, why I came to Hope. And yeah, I ended up just falling in love with the community here. And I think that's what's kept me at Hope and kept me involved in things. I'm obviously involved in soccer, but then the ability at a D3 level to be involved in other things has just been incredible and transformative in my experience at Hope.
Tyler, tell us about your journey here to Hope.
So I'm from Villabrook, Illinois. It's a west suburb of Chicago. I ended up choosing Hope kind of at the last minute. I love Holland, Michigan. It's a great campus. But what really sold me is talking to Coach Nort Heiss, the coach of the cross country and track teams. And then I came to a practice and just met some of the guys. I really liked the team culture. And just having the opportunity to run was huge for me. I started running in 5th grade. My dad was my cross country coach. So it's always been something I've loved, and I've learned to love it a lot more since being here.
Olivia, tell us about your studies and what are you looking to do after you graduate from Hope?
Yeah, I'm studying exercise science and psych. I'm on the pre-occupational therapy track. So after Hope, I am going to Grand Valley for grad school.
Tyler.
So I study biochemistry and molecular biology. So I'm on the pre-med track. I'm going to be applying to med schools this summer, take a gap year, and we'll see where I end up.
Olivia, is that something your path when you came here academically you knew you wanted to do, or is that something you discovered here at Hope?
Yeah, so I came in pre-physical therapy, which is pretty similar to occupational therapy and the path that you have to take in undergrad. Quickly realized that there were just some tough classes with physical therapy that I didn't feel like I was interested in. And I had never heard of occupational therapy until I got to Hope. And Hope has a great exercise science program. I've gotten really involved with professors and formed great relationships with them. And through that experience with professors and discernment with professors, but then also internships and shadowing hours, I discovered occupational therapy. And it actually lines up a lot better with my interests because there is a lot more psychology within occupational therapy as compared to physical therapy. But yeah, I was able to discern that pretty quickly right away because of the relationships I formed and because of the experience that I gained through the major of exercise science itself.
And then for you, Tyler, was pre-med on your mind when you were deciding where you wanted to go to college, or is that something you discerned here?
So it was definitely on my mind, but I came in wanting to study science because I've always been interested in that. Yeah, and then slowly it just became more of an interest to me. just shadowing physicians, having a job where it's more hands-on with patients, and just like the idea of kind of like the intersection between science and helping people. It just seems like a good fit.
Though your academic loads for both of you on their own would be challenging, enough to get completed, on your daily schedule. But obviously, you guys have a passion for competing and your sport. Tell us about, or I'll start with you, Olivia, with soccer, and why that is something that was important to you to be part of your college experience.
Yeah. So I've been playing soccer for as long as I can remember. It for me was something that I didn't know if I wanted to pursue in college. Um, and when it came down to choosing a school, it was between a small D3 school, where I could play soccer, or a big school where I would just go to school for academics. And I think when I visited both schools, I just found value in the small classroom size and the ability to engage in that community. Um, and so ultimately that is why I'm at Hope. And then through that, soccer has honestly been something that's helped me in my academic load. Even coming in as a freshman, we're right into season right away in the fall. And that can be overwhelming when you're coming to a place that you've never been before. It's all new. And then on top of it, you're in the midst of season and also figuring out classes. Um, and so I think it was just really heavy right away, but there were upperclassmen that just took me under their wing, and just taught me how to manage time. And if I had time to be like, okay, I'm going to take you and we're going to go grab coffee and like, we'll talk this out, and just really walked me through my path during my freshman year. And then since then, seeing them model that for me has helped me step into that role for underclassmen on our team. And I think it just continues to be that way, as underclassmen become upperclassmen, and then the circle continues. And so I think soccer has helped me in that way. I've just had a great community of people. And yeah, it's just taught me, especially time management. I think that's the biggest thing, because when you're in a sport for most of your free time, you have to figure out when you can get things done. And I think that's a really valuable lesson I've learned through it.
And it sounds like, and I know from my experience, but I observe from afar in my role as sports information. I'm not necessarily seeing you guys on a day-to-day basis, but it seems like that culture, obviously with Coach Lee Sears, who retired, and Holly Van Ord, and new coach has taken over. That culture of mentorship, something that's really a priority for the women's soccer program.
Yeah, definitely. And there are lots of opportunities built into the culture, for mentorship. And I think that's incredible. One of the things we do is we have specials. So it will be an upperclassman paired with an underclassman. And then it's like you spend your free time together. Again, like I said, like you go get coffee. And for me as a freshman, like that was incredible. I had a senior, and then we're paired up with another group. So I had two incredible seniors that just walked me through everything and really taught me how to be a leader and how to step into a mentorship role. And again, that just continues. So yeah, definitely the culture is incredible.
For you, Tyler, obviously you start right away as well with cross country, and then you keep running with track and field indoor season, and then the outdoor season. What has track and field, and the track and field program meant to your experience at Hope?
Yeah, so I thought it would be tough coming in to balance running every day with classes, but it actually adds a lot of structure. So I practice every day, 340. Um, and a lot of times, like if I have an exam or a big paper due the next day, and I'm like, man, I do not want to go to practice. Like I have so much to do. And then I show up to practice, I go for a run with my best friends, and it's actually like I definitely needed this. So it definitely adds some good structure, and just like a good like mental health break from your work. And I found that to be super beneficial. And it also just like having you're responsible to be at practice, you're responsible to be um, in the best condition possible. So it's kind of like accountability to get sleep, to eat well, to make good decisions. So that's been really good for me. And yeah, and just having older guys on the team when I was a freshman, I obviously had my academic advisor, but then I had some more advisors, just guys kind of show me the ropes and show me that it's very doable to excel in academics and prioritize the team and athletics as well.
See you guys. I live on the north side of Holland, so you guys often were training. I'd probably headed over to the state park area as well. But it sounds like that culture of mentorship is built into both the cross country and track and field programs.
Yes, very much so. Um, when I came on my visit, actually, Coach Northhigh sat me down with two. They were juniors at the time, and they were pre med students, and they were just answering all the questions I had, and that relationship definitely continued when I got here. So guys definitely try to look out for younger guys who are in the same area and answer any questions they have and study with them, tutor them. It's definitely very common.
At Hope College, we believe intercollegiate sport is a powerful vehicle for education and personal development. The mission of Hope Athletics is to provide and promote programs defined by academic success, competitive excellence, and transformational experiences. The Orange and Blue Fund exists to support this mission. Your gift to the Orange and Blue Fund provides tangible support to our student athletes and coaches, equipping them with the resources necessary to train at the highest levels and compete for championships and excel in the classroom. Give online at hope.edu/orange and blue. The student athletes competing at Hope College are among 206,000 students who play varsity sports in the NCAA's largest division, and all are joining in a nationwide celebration of Division III week this week. Division III student athletes play for the love of the game while excelling in the classroom and demonstrating leadership, community service, and campus involvement. Learn more about Division III at ncaa.org or by following Division III Week and Division III on Instagram, Facebook, or X. Now back to our interview with Senior Tyler King and Junior Olivia Dieppa. Olivia, I know that there are a lot of people within athletics. Obviously, the focus is relationships and building on those, and that extends into the classroom. I'm sure there's been a ton, probably more time to count. We could probably fill a podcast with all of them. But who are some of the ones that have been particularly impactful for you, whether it's from your team or somebody maybe on the campus as a whole that have really helped you as you've walked through your time here at Hope?
Yeah, I would say, obviously, like you mentioned, there's just so many people, and that's why I find value in Hope. And I would say the biggest thing for me right away was professors. Professors just want to get to know you and want to engage with you and want to see you succeed. And I think that's something that's unique to a small school. And yeah, that's just been incredible. But outside of that, Holly Bernard has been incredible. She was my high school coach. A big reason why I chose Hope and why I chose to continue playing. She's been incredible for mentorship, for friendship, and just one of the people who I know genuinely wants to see me grow and wants to see me become a better person more than a better soccer player. I've grown in my faith a lot because of her and just the continuous intentionality that she brings. We get coffee, lunch all the time, and she does the same for almost every person on the team, which I think is really tough to do as a head coach. And she makes time for it. So she's been incredible in my journey. And then one more I would say is Kevin Wolma. Again, he's from my high school. He was my AD at my high school, and then continued with me to Hope. And just very similar to Holly, like I've grown so much in my faith, so much as a leader. I've gotten involved in things with him that he's leading. I'm a rep for Team 43. And I don't know if I would have been involved with that if he hadn't continuously asked me to be a part of that. And that's just, yeah, it's people like that just form you as a person and just want to see you grow and continue to just pour into you.
For you, Tyler, who have been some of the people that have really made a difference for you at Hope?
Yeah, definitely professors, just being understanding with traveling for sports and being flexible with that. Also, Coach Norheis has been huge. He definitely, even more so than him wanting to see me succeed on the course or on the track, he definitely just wants to see me succeed in life and grow as a person and set myself up well for my future. And then my classmates who are on the team, Connor Vachon, Lucas Guidone, Jonathan Harlow, Ryan Alspech, and Dan Campbell. Um, we're a pretty close group, and those are all guys that bring different things to the table, but they all kind of have good values and have made a huge impact on the team culture over the past couple of years. Yeah, so they really show how to work hard, but also outside of running, they're always there for the younger guys, and they're always organizing team stuff outside of practice and just want to see the team grow as people. And I've seen a huge impact from that.
I know one of the another things of impact of people, but obviously one of the activities that student athletes can get involved with and students at Hope is the SEED program, Sport Evangelism, to equip the disciples. Last summer, you both had an opportunity to go on the SEED trip to Kenya. I'll start with you, Olivia. Just take me through that. First off, how'd you learn about it? What prompted you to, apply? To be considered for a SEED trip, and we'll start first with some of the things that you were involved with while you were there.
Yeah, so I first learned about SEED trips through teammates. I had a teammate in the grade above me, Gabby Chabala, went to Uganda the previous summer, and she just had incredible things to say about it and how it transformed her as a person, how she grew in her faith, and just met incredible people. And so missions has always been something that I've been interested in. And then hearing about the way the program is set up and how easy it is to get involved as an athlete, I kind of was just like, why not apply? And at the same time, I was a sophomore, and it's like SEED trips are pretty difficult to get into. So I didn't really expect to get on a trip, and I didn't really know where I was going to go either. Didn't really have a preference, kind of just threw it all out there. And then once I applied, I was like, what did I just get myself into? I don't know if this is something I can do, like travel across the world with strangers. And yeah, I ended up getting on the trip with a teammate. So I was like, at least I have a teammate and I know someone. And then she ended up dropping the trip. So then I was like completely lost. And I was like, I don't know if this is what I want. I don't know any of these people. And I kind of like through prayer and talking with different people, it was an opportunity that I would never get again. And although like I was terrified, I just kind of went into it, jumped right into it. And it's been one of the best experiences of my life. So like I mentioned, we had a group of about 20-ish students and 5 leaders. And we traveled to Kenya. And while we were in Kenya, we pretty much were bringing the gospel message through sport and also providing clean water. So Sawyer provides clean water through a filter and bucket system. And so we went to a couple different slums, mainly 2, and we would go into these neighborhoods and bring clean water to schools and to houses where you would have like classrooms of kids just screaming to see you, and then houses with parents that were just overfilled with joy and kids that didn't really understand right away. But then seeing how they reacted to it just like brought a new light into like why we were doing it and what we were doing. So I think that was huge. And then on the relationship side, like, started out with this group as strangers and didn't know anyone. And quickly realized that we were going to be close and it was going to be friendships that last. And to this day, like, we still hang out and we still talk frequently. And I think that's something that I don't know if I would have jumped into any other activity or opportunity like this with a ton of people. I had no idea who they were. And I'm so glad I did, because they're just incredible people. And that's the people of hope. And it's just, yeah, it's been such a great opportunity.
For you, Tyler, what inspired you to apply for a seed trip, and what were your experiences with it?
Yeah, so I also had a couple teammates that went on seed trips. None that went to Kenya, so this was the first time Hope had sent a seed trip to Kenya. Um, yeah, I was pretty nervous going in, had some expectations, and they were just blown out of the water. So sports outreach in Nairobi, there were two guys that kind of hosted us, Arthur and Juma, and they showed us their church, and like the school and how they kind of keep kids um, out of like dangerous situations by giving them like an education and using sports and chess to kind of keep these kids occupied and like having fun. And yeah, it was awesome to see those kids and just how grateful they were for everything we had to offer. Clean water and just even serving them lunch, they were just so grateful. They would, look you in the eye and say thank you. And I think, um, yeah, I just learned a lot about gratitude. Just the people there were just amazing, how grateful they were for everything. And it kind of made me realize like a lot of the flaws that I had, and just how I take things for granted. So that was like a huge eye-opening experience for that. And um, one of the guys, Arthur, he said, "Don't just be here and then go home. Take this home with you." Because yeah, he was definitely right. I took that home with me, and it's um, made a huge impact on how I treat others and how I appreciate the gifts I've been given and the opportunities I had. And then just going into the slums and connecting with those people, they looked at us like, I mean, they hadn't seen Americans, and I learned that you're never too different from someone to connect with them and share the word of God with them, and just like they were so welcoming, and it was amazing, and I'm so grateful for it.
Olivia, and that's what I've heard from conversations with other people with Seed Trip, is just the amazing people they meet, and what you're there trying to minister and serve, and they end up doing the same for you. Is that something you brought home as well? Just that the people there.
100%. Yeah. Um, like Tyler mentioned, like, it's just incredible, the gratitude that you experience because of the ways that they are grateful. Yeah, they're so grateful for something that we take for granted each day. Like, we have access to clean water, and that's not an issue anywhere in the US. And then you go into these communities and you see the way that they're living and the conditions that they're just grateful to be in, because they have housing and they have access to water now through a bucket system. And it's something that to us is so simple. And yeah, it's just incredible. Like, I couldn't explain it to anyone coming home, because it's just something you have to experience firsthand.
And then for you, Tyler, the other thing is, and both of you kind of alluded to, is just that you take a group of strangers that have Hope College in common in large degrees. Maybe some of you know of each other, but maybe you don't. And then you build this group and you build friendships from there that, plant seeds as well in that. Just talk about that part of the seed trip and what that is, what that means to go through that experience of building a, kind of a new group of friends and a new team.
Yeah, so I didn't really know anyone in my group besides two of my teammates that were on the trip. I recognized everyone. I've seen them around, but I never really had a reason to like interact with them. Obviously, cheer for them with their sports, but like didn't really have that connection. And I noticed other people that had gone on sea trips. They kind of like intermingled with other teams, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Um, so yeah, getting sent to Kenya with a bunch of people, just spending a week with them and just completely different circumstances than any of us have ever really been in. We got a lot closer, and it's been really cool to see how close we can get, even coming back to Michigan. And yeah, so as a freshman coming in, you kind of just know your team. Um, and then I've seen a lot of connection between the different sports teams when it comes to upperclassmen. And I think that is largely in part the seed program. I think that makes like a huge difference with the connections that athletes have with each other and just the support they give to each other after having those experiences.
Lastly, Olivia and Tyler, I wanted to ask there, not so long ago, you were, as you alluded to earlier, a freshman walking into Hope, or deciding where you wanted to go in different paths. Obviously, there are some high school juniors and seniors are in that same space right now. What advice would you give to them as you would give to yourself? Not only what you were, deciding why Hope, but then also, what they should be open to experiencing here. Olivia?
Yeah, I would just say find the place where you think that you will thrive. And I'm very glad I chose Hope, but I was very close to not choosing Hope. And I think my story would have been a lot different if I was somewhere else. I think Hope has just poured into me more than I ever thought a college could. And the community and the opportunities I've been given, you just don't find them everywhere. So I would just say that find the place that's going to invest in you the same way that you're going to invest in it. Yeah, I'm so thankful for that I chose Hope, and for each opportunity I've been given through Hope.
For your Tyler, what would your advice be?
Yeah, I would just say, you know, step on campus at the places you're looking at and talk with people, talk with students, and just figure out sort of what the school values, and kind of reflect on what values are important to you. Because for me, hope has just been like tremendous. I felt like from day one, I felt like people actually cared about me here, and wanted to see me succeed and grow and learn. Um, and there's been so many opportunities for me to develop, to grow my faith, to just prepare myself to step out into the real world and just pursue my calling in the best way I can. So I would just say definitely just look at the school's values and how they align with your own.
Well, I appreciate both you, Tyler and Olivia, for joining us on the Hope Athletics Orange and Blue podcast today. And thanks everyone for listening. We'll have another episode very soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.